thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Natasha Kirchak here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
Over 13,880 people have now been diagnosed with the coronavirus in the state of Israel, with another 170 cases being diagnosed just overnight. The health ministry says that 142 are in serious condition and 113 are on ventilators. 135 are moderately ill, but the good news is that more than 4,300 have now recovered from COVID-19. That's an increase of 300 recoveries since just yesterday. Unfortunately, though, the death toll has now risen to 181 people and counting. One of the latest Jewish victims worldwide is Benjamin Levin, the youngest and last surviving member of the celebrated Avengers Group, which fought the Nazis in the forests of Lithuania and helped other Jews stay alive during the Holocaust. Levin was once dubbed as the Forrest Gump of Jewish history by the acclaimed Hollywood director Steven Spielberg, and he sadly passed away from COVID-19 in New York at the age of 93 this week. As the planet reels from more and more deaths like his, the World Health Organization is urging governments across the world to remain vigilant and only gradually lift lockdowns, out of concern that the globe could see a deadly resurgence of the coronavirus. Israel has been slowly rolling back its regulations in an effort to help stimulate the economy and help locals out of work. It's believed that around 25,000 businesses in Israel could be forced to close down by the end of the year as a result of the coronavirus crisis. A government coalition in Israel has finally been formed, and it only took 484 days, 3 election cycles, and a pandemic under an interim government to do it. But still, on the eve of this year's Israeli Holocaust Memorial Day, Prime Minister Netanyahu and Knesset Speaker Benny Gantz signed a deal. Now, this is the first unity government agreement in 36 years, the last one being between Shimon Peres and Yitzhak Shamir. According to this deal, though, this government will be characterized as an emergency government for 6 months, during which time negotiating teams will continue looking into the future of the coalition. No laws unrelated to coronavirus can be pushed by the emergency unity without both sides' consent, and only a few exceptions to this have been outlined, like the drafting of a 2-year budget and draft legislation to begin annexing sections of Judea and Samaria or the West Bank as soon as July. Apart from that, Prime Minister Netanyahu will stay in office for a year and a half, at which point Gantz will replace him. Until then, Gantz will serve as defense minister, but with prime minister status, and the Knesset speaker position will be passed back to the Likud, likely to Yariv Levin. As for Blue and White's new number 2, Gabi Ashkenazi, he will serve likely as foreign minister. Then in total, there will be at least 36 ministers and 16 deputy ministers to accommodate this big new government, which will be made of the Likud, the new Blue and White Party, the Labour Party, and the Orthodox Shas and UTJ parties. Yamina, or Naftali Bennett's Right Party, on the other hand, is expected to sign on later, but it's unclear when or why. Today is Israeli Holocaust Memorial Day, where Israelis and people all around the world honor the millions of victims of the Holocaust. And to do that, every year Israel stands for 2 minutes of silence as sirens blare across the country. But this year, with the coronavirus pandemic plaguing the world, things are a bit different. Typically, busy streets, boardwalks, and eateries all stop at once in a massive and moving show of solidarity and reflection. But this year, the streets are already pretty clear, and that's not all that's changed. Events to hear survivor testimony have all moved online. The U.S. Holocaust Museum is holding a virtual remembrance ceremony, and Israeli state-funded events, concerts, and candle lightings are all being held remotely. In fact, Israel's Yad Vashem Holocaust Memorial even pre-recorded most of its annual programming, including addresses by President Rivlin and Prime Minister Netanyahu, who drew parallels between the Holocaust and coronavirus.
התפרצות הקורונה מחייבת מאבק כלל עולמי בנגיף, ולא פחות מזה, היא ממחישה את החשיבות של ריבונות לאומית. שלא כמו בשואה, הפעם זיהינו את הסכנה בזמן. קיבלנו החלטות חשובות כמו סגירת גבולות המדינה, ורתמנו את כלל מערכות המדינה למלחמה בקורונה. בייחוד רתמנו את הרצון, המחויבות והאחריות שלכם, אזרחי ישראל.
That's all for now. I'm Natasha Kirchak, and see you later with our main daily broadcast.